Hey, it's Saz. Today is Remembrance Day, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because growing up in school, Remembrance Day, you've got assemblies, and people get those little poppies, and you usually have to sing a national anthem and sit in a really uncomfortable gymnasium for a couple hours, and I just didn't really get it. And then being out of school, it's like, you're not forced by anybody to celebrate it. So I just sort of haven't really been thinking a whole lot about Remembrance Day. But the person I'm in a relationship is a veteran, and I, for the last couple years, have been very close to seeing how veterans are treated in Canada, which is where I live. And my partner has a lot of chronic pain and needs a lot of help and has been trying so hard to get this help. And Veterans Affairs has not been good to him with all this stuff. And just now, because of a recent re-injury and medical imaging, is he finally beginning to see some progress. And this injury was like a decade ago happened. So I've become a lot more aware of how fucking hard it is when you sell your whole life really to the government for the time that you're in. And then you get indoctrinated with survival mode, essentially. You're told, it's like starting to rain, like pour rain outside. So I'm like a little bit distracted because I love the rain. But you're indoctrinated with all these ways you're supposed to be and all these things you're supposed to do, and you're there knowing that you could just die at any point in maybe not the training, but once you're deployed potentially, or something goes wrong and with some equipment, and you're there to die essentially. That's what you're signing up for. And a lot of people don't, but a lot of people also do. So regardless, you're living in this survival mode, and you're being yelled at by people, and you're being told very specific ways to do things, and you're getting in trouble if you don't do them a specific way, and it's just not good. It's not how we're meant to live. It programs us in such a horrendous way. And so when you're in, maybe it's a little easier because it's just all it's what your life is. But when you get out, you have to become a civilian again, as terminology is. And that's really hard because, first of all, you don't have community like you did, because military community is like, we might not all like each other all the time, but we have each other's backs when life or death is on the line. Like you don't, out in the civilian world, we don't have those kinds of bonds with people unless, really it's a trauma bond. It's like a really intense, visceral trauma bond. But it's like you've got your whole group, and you all went through the exact same kind of thing, and you all understand the system, and you all understand the language, and you understand what it's like to be in that position. And in the civ world, we don't really know that. We might individually bits and pieces, but military is it's so vast. There's so many people in there. So if you're in, you get it, and if you're not, you don't. And trying to re-enter the world, exit survival mode, understand, okay, what do I do now? What do I do next? Especially if you've been injured, or you can't work, or, PTSD is pretty much across the board, it seems, for everyone who's been in the military, regardless of whether they've gone to battle or not. It's just, you just have trauma, and there is not enough support for it. And my partner really struggles, every day. It's a part of his everyday life, is recovering from this time, really, especially with the chronic pain after injury and not getting help for it that he needs. So I didn't understand Remembrance Day for a really long time, or at least I didn't respect it. I really didn't. And today, now that it's Remembrance Day again, I feel like this is a holiday that I need to respect, and that I think we all need to respect, because it's a big fucking deal. And I don't feel good about the military. I never have. I still don't. I don't know that will change. But that doesn't matter. My belief about whether military is inherently good or not, like, it makes no fucking difference. These are real, live people who have been through this. Whether they thought they were doing it for a good reason, whether they felt like they had no other choice in life, or for whatever reason people get into the military. Once they're in, they've had some experience like this, and once they're out, they're trying to live with that. And that deserves a lot of respect. And there's, the phrase, lest we forget, is such a common one. I actually saw it on a sign today already when I was going to the grocery store. And it made me think, let's not forget the people who passed in battle fighting, for the safety and for our way of life that we have here, even though it's not the best way of life because Canada is a shit show right now. But also, let's not forget the people who are still alive, because I think that's actually way worse. Maybe that's what the phrase is supposed to mean, and I'm just learning it right now. But to me, I'm like, that's really important, because these people aren't dead yet. The people who are dead are at least free of all the nonsense of it all. But the people who are still here have to live every day. So, let's not forget about the fucking veterans who are still alive right now and who are trying to survive and who aren't getting the support that they need and who don't know how to be, And, of course, there's drug addiction and alcoholism and abuse and there are all these things that come from it. And so I'm like, let's not forget to take care of these people. So, I encourage you to take a moment today, moment of silence, maybe reaching out to a veteran or, saying a prayer for one that you've lost. But, take a moment to respect what it means to be a veteran today. So that's my little spiel about Remembrance Day, because 'tis the day. Switching topics, I am now 4 weeks on testosterone. And I'm so excited, and the changes have been amazing and affirming, and I'm so proud of myself. And I've been working my way up to learning how to self-inject, and I'm lucky enough to have really good resources where I live. There's a drop-in clinic where you can go and they will give you your shot and they can teach you how to give yourself a shot so you're not going in blind, because that's terrifying. So I've been going every week to that. And finally, I've practiced enough, and yesterday at my appointment, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do this whole thing myself. I prepped the needle, did all the little thingies, and then wrapped out my thigh, and I actually stabbed myself with the needle. And once the needle's in there, I was like, well, I guess I can plunge it too. And so I actually administered the medicine into my own body and then put the Band-Aid on and everything. And I had a supervised person there, a nurse there, who was amazing with the whole thing and who was like, you did it, congratulations. And I was like, thank you so much. And they were like, you're really on track. You're really on track. Maybe come in a couple more times just to have supervision to do it so you get really comfy. And then you're good to go home and do it yourself every week. So I'm feeling so proud of myself. So fucking proud of myself. And the nurse also said, it takes a lot of strength to do that. And that really got me thinking, because I've been learning so much about strength and toughness and what it means to be strong and steady, which are lessons that I haven't learned. There's been a lot of shit going on in my life the last couple of weeks. A lot of things I've had to witness, conversations I've had to have, parts of humanity that I've had to confront that I don't want to believe exist because they're so evil. And I've had to take it and find ways to ingest it and keep walking forward and still try and make the best decisions in those moments that I can, not just for me, but for the people around me. And it's really hard. But I'm learning what toughness is, and I'm learning what strength is, and I'm trying not to do it in toughness only, because I kind of tried to do that when I was a kid, but I really was just repressing all of my emotions. But now I'm trying to understand toughness and strength in a balanced way, where it's I can be tough and strong and I can withstand things, but then I can also take care of my emotions and I can regulate myself and I can make sure that I'm not overdoing it or fucking myself over, because I need to take care of myself too. But I also need to take care of other people. And how do I find that balance? How do we all find that balance? Yeah, so those are sort of the updates, the big ones. And my life seems to be falling apart also because of testosterone. Not directly linked, but also definitely directly linked, because now I'm feeling more me than I've felt ever before. And it's making me realize that, oh, I can't live the life I've been living because it is not actually me. It's what I thought me was. But now I'm understanding me on a whole new level, and it's not me. I quit my job. I've got a week left. And I've been throwing out resumes at places, and I haven't heard anything back from anybody. So I don't really know what I'm going to do there. My building's also shit. I don't really want to live here. I kind of want to move, like, across the country. I don't know. There's just so many ifs right now, and there's so many unknowns. And it was stressing me out for a while, but I've decided I'm not going to let it stress me out. I'm just going to explore my options, and I'm going to be curious and creative, and I'm going to be open to opportunities, and I don't need to make any big sweeping decisions until the end of the month. So I've got until the end of the month to figure out at least a couple next big steps for me. So I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but that's where I'm at right now. And I just thank you for watching, whoever is watching. I appreciate it, and I hope any of this is helpful or insightful, or that you at least just feel seen. And I love you a lot. Wishing you all the best, and lest we forget.